Resentment is a universal feeling, but just as we speak the same language in different ways, men and women often experience and express it with their own nuances. Comparing male and female resentment isn't about finding a better or worse way to feel, but rather exploring different emotional landscapes shaped by social norms and psychological characteristics. It'll be interesting.
Picture this. Your partner has forgotten an important anniversary. A woman's resentment in this moment often blossoms into a bouquet of disappointment, sadness, and feeling undervalued. It might express itself in tears, reproaches, long conversations about how important it was, and a sense of emotional distance. A woman might strive for her partner to understand the depth of her feelings and feel guilty. For her, resentment is often linked to a break in emotional connection, a lack of attention and care. It can be a signal that important needs in the relationship are not being met. A man's resentment in a similar situation might manifest differently. Instead of intense emotions, a man might withdraw, become silent or irritable. He might feel unimportant, forgotten, but express this more through detachment than through tears. His resentment often strikes at his ego, his sense of self-worth, and his expectations of recognition. He might perceive the forgotten date as a lack of respect for his efforts in the relationship or as confirmation of his unimportance.
So, do stereotypes about masculinity and femininity actually affect how people perceive and express hurt? For instance, men are often expected to be more stoic, while women might be more allowed to show their emotions openly. Men's and women's hurt can manifest and be experienced differently. While the underlying psychological mechanisms of hurt are largely similar, men and women still tend to express, experience, and cope with it in distinct ways.
Men's hurt is often tied to feelings of injustice regarding their status or accomplishments. Men can react strongly to situations they perceive as undermining their authority, disrespecting their achievements, or treating their efforts unfairly. Violations of personal boundaries or betrayal are also common triggers for male hurt. Women's hurt is very often linked to feelings of rejection or not being needed. Women can react strongly to situations where they feel insignificant or unloved. Women often get hurt when they feel unheard, their feelings aren't valued, they don't receive enough attention, or empathy isn't shown. Broken promises, a lack of support during difficult times, and inattention to their needs can all cause hurt. Men may be more inclined to hide their resentment due to social expectations associated with masculinity and strength. They might fear appearing weak or emotional. Instead of directly expressing their resentment, men may show it through outbursts of anger, irritability, silence, withdrawal, or passive aggression. This can be a way to mask more vulnerable feelings. A resentful man might withdraw into himself, avoid communication, and become cold and distant. Some men might try to distract themselves from their resentment through active pursuits, work, hobbies, or even risky behavior. By the way, men are more prone to generalize their negative experiences and project them onto the world around them, displaying general dissatisfaction and cynicism. Women more often express resentment more openly and emotionally, which can include tears, complaints, reproaches, and talking about their feelings. A resentful woman might seek support from loved ones, share her experiences, and need sympathy and understanding. Women are more likely to try to talk through the situation, figure out the reasons for the resentment, and seek understanding from the person who caused it. Men are more prone to self-blame. Some studies suggest that men may be more likely to blame themselves for failures that lead to resentment. In contrast, women are more inclined to shift responsibility. They are less likely to blame themselves and more often attribute the cause of resentment to others. It's important to note that women are more likely to hold grudges and may remember offenses longer, reacting to new situations based on past negative experiences.
Of course, these are general tendencies. Not all men and women fit these stereotypes. But one thing is certain, both men and women experience pain and disappointment when their expectations are not met or when they feel hurt. Therefore, in relationships, it's important to learn to understand and respect each other's emotional reactions, regardless of gender stereotypes. Open communication and empathy can help manage resentment and strengthen the bond.